Kia ora folks, kia ora. Welcome to another reaction video, music that will spend time. I'm Dave. So, today, as you can see by the title, I'm doing a song called The Band Played Waltzing Matilda. And now I've noticed a few other reaction channels have been doing this song, but they've all been doing the Eric Bogle version. Eric Bogle is the guy who wrote the song and originally performed it. I know in his early days he was in a band called Eric and the Informers. I think that was in, not sure if that was in Australia or in Scotland where he's from. Sorry, my phone's beeping. They're quite popular on Facebook today for some reason. I do know that he wrote a song which has been made quite popular by some Irish bands, the Dubliners, the Furies, and I have heard other bands sing it too, and it appears on a lot of Irish and Celtic CDs that you get. A song called Leaving Nancy. I'm pretty sure Eric wrote it when he was leaving Scotland for Australia at a young age. I think he came out when he was about 25, I think, somewhere around there. This song and the band played Waltzing Matilda. I know what the song's about. I've heard the song before. It's a song about World War One, about the troops in Australia going over to fight in Gallipoli and coming home, the effects it had on them. A lot of stories I've heard and read over the years. I mean, a lot of soldiers coming home tend to go through the similar thing. I think it's disgusting the way that a lot of governments, especially here in Australia and I know in the US, how they treat their returning soldiers, especially if they are injured or maimed or even mentally stressed or affected by the war. Or the fighting that they've been in, the conflict. So this song, it depends the mood I'm in when I'm watching it. Sometimes I'll listen to it and it'll bring a tear to my eye. It does make me sad, knowing this is what's going on, but it's a very interesting song and I think it's one that needs to be listened to. It has been covered by a lot of people, such the bands such as the Dubliners, here in Australia, Slim Dusty, John Williamson have covered it, and all great covers. Eric Bogle's version is fantastic too, especially recent ones. As he is getting on in years, but he can still sing a song and tell a story. But I'm doing the version of the Pogues, mainly because I don't want to take anything away from Eric Bogle because it's his song. But the first time I heard it was the Pogues singing it, and that's the only reason why I want to do this version. So hopefully you enjoy it. It is a tough song to listen to, especially if you're a veteran or a soldier here in New Zealand. I have seen some people from overseas doing a reaction to this song, and when there's a part in the song about a parade, a soldiers parading, which is here in Australia is the Anzac Day parade, which is in New Zealand and Australia. They do things around other countries around the world where the Anzacs fought. Anzac stands for the Australian New Zealand Army Corps, and we have Anzac Day every year where we remember. I think it's important to remember. And I think it's very important to support our soldiers. Personally, I don't believe they should be getting sent to war. It's the politicians can't sort things out themselves. Maybe they should try picking up the gun and go and getting it sorted. But it is what it is. It is what happens, and it is quite sad. I remember talking to my grandfather about World War II, and it was something he didn't like to talk about. He told me one story. I remember when I was young. So the wind's starting to get up outside. and he said to me it's the only time he'll talk about it. He didn't go into much detail, but you could see the sadness in his eyes. And he said to me that, you know, it's something that we should never forget happened, but he said it's also something that they don't really want to talk about the details. He said no person should have to go through that, but he said he has to remember it for the rest of his life. You know, the fear, the anxiety, you know, the blood, the guts, the screaming and pain, and, you know, when people are getting injured, and it's just, he just said it's terrifying. And he said the whole time he was away he was just scared shitless. So yeah, anyway, look, I'm not going to go on. I could talk all day about this, but we'll get into the song. So yeah, if you're watching this today, thanks for watching, I appreciate it. If you think about subscribing, then please do. If you don't, that's no bother either. I just enjoy the fact that people are watching my videos. Give it a like, that'd be nice. If you happen to leave a comment, I will get back to you. I'll try and answer you if I can. But yeah, so without further ado, I guess we'll just get straight into it. So this is the band played by Matilda by the Pogues. Enjoy.
When I was a young man, I carried my pack, and I lived a free life of a rover. From the Murray Spring Basin to the dusty outback, I waltzed my Matilda all over. Then in 1915 my country said, son, it's time to stop rambling, there's work to be done. So they gave me a tin hat and they gave me a gun, and they sent me away to the war. And the band played Waltzing Matilda as we sailed away from the quay. And amidst all the tears, the shouts and the cheers, we sailed up for Gallipoli.
As you can see, this is just a soundtrack, it's not a video. I have this album as well. There are live versions, but they're all posted by other people, whereas this has been posted by the Pogues. So I'm hoping it won't get copyrighted. I'm hoping that the video will go complete through without me having to cover it up or anything like that. That's why I went with just the picture of the album, because I think sometimes it helps to put the video through a bit easier, but we'll see what happens when I try to post it. But yeah.
Now those who were living did their best to survive in that mad world of death, blood and fire. And for 7 long weeks I kept myself alive, though the corpses around me grew higher. Then a big Turkish shell knocked me arse over tits, and when I awoke in my hospital bed and saw what it had done, Christ, I wished I was dead. Never knew there were worse things than dying. And no more I'll go waltzing Matilda to the green bushes so far and near. For the hindtents and pegs, a man needs 2 legs. No more waltzing Matilda for me.
This is a bit that I was talking about earlier about Anzac Day in Australia and New Zealand. I don't think it gets mentioned in the song, but the parade is Anzac Day with all the soldiers and ex-soldiers marching.
I see my old comrades, how proudly they march, reliving the dreams of past glory. I see the old man, all tattered and torn, the forgotten heroes of a forgotten war. And the young people ask me, what are they marching for? And I ask myself the same question. And the band plays Waltzing Matilda, and the old men still answer the call. But year after year, their numbers get fewer. Someday no one will march there at all. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, go waltzing Matilda with.
Yeah, it's a very moving song. The first time I heard it was in an Irish bar in North Queensland of Australia, and the bar, I worked in an Irish bar, and at the end of the night we used to have a bit of a circle, sit around, have a few drinks after work, and we'd tell stories, tell jokes, sing songs. And then one of the Irish lads sung this one day, and I thought, oh, I love that song, and he said I would listen to the Pogues version of it, so I did, and yeah, and then I did a bit of research on it and found out that Eric Bogle sang it, so I've listened to his version as well, and yes, it's a very moving song. Yeah, a lot of people tend to forget that, you know, a lot of these soldiers came back broken. It didn't matter whether it was their bodies broken or their mind broken, they came back broken, and back then they used to look after the soldiers a lot better than they do now. But still, I mean, I don't think anybody knew how to deal with the mental strain and the mental disabilities that it put on people. You know, I'm not saying that they were a tougher breed back then, but to carry that kind of stuff around, you know, it had to be hard, and it had to be a bit way heavy on people. I mean, I used to see how it weighed on my grandfather, but he actually never took part. Well, he stopped taking part in Anzac Day parades. Yeah, my great grandfather got badly injured in World War II, and in the end, I think it ended up killing him. My father's father, my granddad, he contracted emphysema during the war and had injuries. So, you know, they've got to carry this stuff through for the rest of their lives. I mean, it's terrible. War's terrible. But, you know, always very supportive of our forces, whether it be Army, Navy, Air Force. Always stand behind and support the soldiers. It's the best we can do. I actually tried to join the Army when I was, well, actually, that's not true, it was the Air Force. I tried to join, and then tried to join the Army after, but I wasn't accepted on medical grounds. When I was 17, I broke my hip and my pelvis and my lower back, and have never really regained full function, so that stopped me from joining, even though I was keen to do it. But anyway, so hopefully, yes, that video in some way moved you, the song, not the video. But yeah, we shouldn't forget. We shouldn't forget at all. Alright, I'm going to leave it there. Great song, written by a very talented man. You should go and check out some of Eric Bogle's other stuff. He's written some great songs, and he's a very good performer. And so are the Pogues, of course. I mean, I really enjoy the Pogues music as well. So, anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. If you happen to subscribe if you like the channel, like. Don't have to, it's all good. Leave a comment if you want to leave a comment. But yeah, thanks, peace, love and music.